Hi guys, how you doing? Tuna here. This week I'm doing a video about questions and answers. A little while ago, a few days ago, I put up on the community tab anybody that would like to know anything, just to leave questions below. And I had 2 responses to that. One person gave me quite a few things and the other person also. So it was enough there to put together a question and answer video. It goes way back to Greek alphabet time. A lot of scholars will say it come from the Greek alphabet, but the Greek alphabet is not actually about Greece. It was something that was used in an abundance of places. Also, the Roman alphabet, that was put together with it, and some also say that Latin came into it as well. Around 400 BC, the Germanic tribes found this, took some of it, but added their own take on it, and so became the Elder Futhark, the runic alphabet. So they had a way of writing things down, of putting things on stones and wood to denote what they wanted people to know. Which is brilliant, because we now have all these places with like the burial mounds and the stones and things, and we can see that they wrote these runic alphabets. They spoke what they wanted to say on these, and so that is really the basic history of this. But they have the other side of it, which is about the Norse gods and goddesses. It's about how they came into being, and we go straight to Odin for this. Well, he was desperate to know all about the magic, all about the knowledge that the women seers had. The Seder practitioners were in league with the Norns, were in league with their deities, and they had this insight and wisdom that Odin really wanted to know. So he decided to, and you have to remember guys, they were women that practiced this art. The men didn't. It wasn't classed as a man's pastime. So to do this he had to become like a woman. And so there are many scholars out there that say, did he actually hang upon that tree in sacrifice and become like a woman to receive? Was that his sacrifice? Nobody knows. The Norns will not give if you are not worthy to receive. They will not give because the rune means secret. It means mystery and knowledge. Hence, it don't go to people that do not deserve to own it. Odin knew this, and he knew he had to give a really good sacrifice. So he spoke to the gods before he hung upon the tree, and he told them what he wanted to do. But he also told them, if I scream out, do not feed me, do not give me drink, do not take me down. I do not want your help. He hung there for 9 nights and days. He was so hungry and so thirsty. His lips were so parched, and he did yell out, but the gods did not help him. Nobody helped him. He thought he would die, and he bled. He hung there, and on the last night he had a breakthrough, and he looked down, and there were the runes. He fell to the earth and grabbed them. He had done 9 days and nights of sheer hell. He had shifted and received the runes. But that wasn't enough. He had to then get knowledge, and the only way he could do that was to self-sacrifice yet again. So he went to the well of Mimir, and he asked give me a drink of the well water to give me the knowledge. And Mimir said, no, you cannot. You need to be a sacrifice to receive this. To which Odin thought no more. He plucked his eye out and threw it into the well. And so he was given a cup of the water, which he drank, and he became wise and full of knowledge. He then had it all, but he had to be like the women. Would have been a hard thing for a man to do, to push his masculinity to one side and take on that path. But that is where the runes mythologically came from. And so you can see the importance of them. So that, guys, is, as far as I'm concerned, the history behind it. I do not use the traditional ways of casting runes. I would spend time in long bouts of shifting my consciousness and being at one with divine, with helpers, with ancestors. The guidance side of things, I would say, when you're starting off, it's so easy to want to add your own bits in. Never do that, guys. You need to shift enough to be able to receive. And once you receive, keep yourself in that state of mind. Never, ever add your own bits to it. But relax. Don't tense up. Don't look for answers. They will be given to you. But you have to be practicing constantly. But of course, this is the way I deal with it, the way that I do it. Not everybody works that way. Some people use the runes like tarot cards, that they will learn the meanings of them and just use that. With me, I am not that way. As I say, I work intuitively. I work with what I receive. And so to me, the rune is like a vortex. It's like an open door to answers, and you just have to practice and keep doing it till you receive. But the guidance there is never give up, never give up, always keep trying. If it is your gift to learn and to give to others with the runes, then you will be given, and you just need to be able to understand what it is you're getting. So at the end of the day, you have to be prepared to put the time in. That's what we do when we're learning. You have to be able to give of every part of you to this. And once you've done that, after you've practiced time and time again, it will come to you naturally. When I start the cast, I will use 3, because past, present and future is easy to then lock into that person and understand a little bit of what they really need, and that will give you an opening. I then go into the 5, because 5 is very interesting. It's enough to get you going, but not too much to bog you down. Then I go into it intuitively. So I would then give the stuff that I am being given, and the runes are really basically to show the person what it is I'm getting, and then they can ask me if they've got anything they want to know. I can maybe add to it. But again, as I say, I work closely with the messages that I get given, so I'm not getting the reading from a book or from the meanings of those runes. The meaning of those rooms are like openings into different worlds, different realms, different ways, and so you need to be able to lock into that. But that's the way I work, guys, and as I say, everybody's different and everybody does it their own way, and there is no right and there is no wrong way in any way of doing things, as long as you get that answer. At the end of the day, it's what it's about, to give that person a good reading. I don't ask questions, because once you've tapped into the person, you know where they're at and what it is they really need to know, and so that's what you go with. If they want to add to that by speaking, then when you get to certain runes, they will ask you things. You can then get your answers and tell them. The readings are not always about questions. They're more about what's going on, what should be happening, what will happen, what might happen. I work intuitively, and the person that comes to you will know that. They will know that that's what they're receiving, and it is fine. Again, do it your own way. That's the best. Because if you try to do it the way other people do it, you may not be able to do it. So you need to do it your way, the way that makes sense to you. Preferred outcomes. Is that the outcome of the questions or the rune reading, or is it the outcome of how you are doing? At the end of the day, you cut yourself away from how you feel, and it's about what to give the person. So I would say you don't have a view in it. The outcome is already proclaimed by the Norns. They're the ones that weave our lives and give us what is proclaimed, and hence we can only give guidance to people. They can change certain things in their lives, but they can't change what's proclaimed for them, what their fate is. So the reading is really there to give them encouragement, to show them what they can change but maybe haven't, and that's what it's all about. Be realistic and also respectful. So we need to be vigilant when we use them, and only use them in the right way. Do not overuse them. Do not use them flippantly, for they are not just a piece of stone or a piece of wood. How do we perceive these numbers? The numbers are 3, 6, 9. Again, we have to look at it in two ways. 3, for example, Odin, Vili and Ve. They are the ones that brought life to the first humans. Odin gave the first humans life and spirit. Vili gave them movement, mind and intelligence. And Ve gave them speech, shape and feelings. Also gave the 5 senses. So these 3 gods gave all that and made the first 2 humans from 2 wood stumps and brought them to life. Again, that's the number 3. You've got the 3 Norns who weave our lives, our destinies, our futures and our pasts. They are past, present, future. Yggdrasil had 3 roots that came from it. Again, the number 3. So you had the first root that came from Asgard, and the second root came from Jotunheim, and the third root came from Niflheim. So you have the 3 roots, again, symbolic. Loki had 3 children. It took 3 attempts to bind Fenrir, and it was wrote that there would be 3 cold winters before Ragnarok. So we can see the number 3 is quite relevant, and there are many more examples. You will find many different stories, and 3 comes up quite a bit. The number 9 has great significance, for it starts with Odin hanging for 9 nights and days. Hell rules over the 9 realms. Herman rides for 9 days to get to hell. So again, this type of elongated sacrifice. It is wrote that Thor's 9 steps at Ragnarok. Freya rules over the 9 realms. The old Uppsala in Sweden is renowned for every 9 years there would be the sacrifices. You can see there are many ways 9 is used. Freyr had to wait 9 days to marry his love Gerd. 9 is very significant for females. It's 9 months to give birth. 9 is the number of death as well as life. It's very significant. There are many stories talking about these numbers. The 9 giantesses, Svipdag, 9 song spell. And lastly, from what I can remember, Skadi and Njord's 9 days cycle. For 9 is a universal number. If you even look into the sky, we have 9 planets. There is 9 everywhere you look. And I know it is wrote by lots of people that these 3 numbers have a meaning in the universe. There's the 9 realms of the tree of Yggdrasil. There's the 9 in many different religions and outlooks. 9 is focused on quite a bit. 3 also in other religions, but 6 is one that I have seen mainly in angelic work. The number 6 representing the day before, the day of rest. So there are many ways you can look at these numbers. To me, they represent quite a bit, and you will see them pop up everywhere. Whether they mean anything more intellectual is for you guys to research and to look into. I know that the number 9 is of completion. I also know that the number 6 and other numbers become part of the angelic realm. But 3 times 3 times 3 is 9. So we have the 3 Norns, where all the things that I have spoken about, where it's 3s, turn into 9. And put that 9 together. Ragnarok, the end of the world, as we know it, where the 9 realms collapse, the 9 steps. Maybe this is what it's telling us. People often say that the planets and the constellations, that there is 9 there as well. Maybe it is to do with that. But in Norse mythology, in Norse practice, we do have a lot of reference made to 3 and 9. Again, I may be wrong on the 6, but I've not really come across that as much. More in other fields of occultism and witchcraft. 3 was classed as sacred and used by high royals and dignitaries, those that had power. 3 is a number that they would use. Again, that is written down. So when you're looking through all these stuff, note how many times you see 3 and 9. It will amaze you that in the Norse mythology it seems to be more relevant than in any other. So I think it's very interesting. As scientists would say, we are built upon numbers. Everything is numbers, but there are specific numbers that have more power than other numbers, and hence 3, 6, 9 are those numbers. Can't say much more than that, guys. So they were the questions. If you've got any other questions that you would like to ask me, when I put things up on the community tab, just leave me what it is you'd like to know. Again, I work intuitively, guys, so my answers are about my practice, not about how others practice. So whether that will help you or not, I don't know, but it's nice to share, and I hope you got something from it. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Alang.